2-1 buy down. What is it and how does it work? All right, guys. Before I get into the 2-1 buy down and how it works, I have a question for you. For all you guys that do content creation, how do you do it? I'm in the mortgage industry, and there should be 1,000 things that I can talk about, but I can't think of anything. And the stuff that I kind of want to talk about is very, very boring, if that makes any sense. If you're talking about the 10-year Treasury note or the 2-year or the MBS or inflation, it's very boring. So if you guys are content creators and you're good at it and you're good at coming up with ideas, hit me up, please. Give me some advice. I'm very interested in getting some information on that. But with that being said, I digress to the topic of the day, which is 2-1 buy down. What is a 2-1 buy down and how does it work? So I'm going to give you the definition that Investopedia says, and then I think I'm going to disagree with it just for a little bit. So a 2-1 buy down is a mortgage agreement that provides for a low interest rate for the first year of the loan and somewhat higher rate for the second year, and then the full rate for the third year and later years. All right. So that's technically not correct. What they're doing, what a 2-1 buy down actually is, you're not getting a lower rate. They're treating it as if it's a lower rate. And let me explain. So let's say you have a 6.5% interest rate. Okay. Well, with the 6.5% interest rate and you did a 2-1 buy down, they're going to find out what is a 4.5% interest rate, 2% less than 6.5. So for the first year, what is the mortgage payment on that 4.5% rate? That'll be your mortgage payment for the first year. On the second year, it's a 2-1, right? So now it only goes down by 1%. So what is the mortgage payment on 5.5%? And then on year 3, it goes to the regular term of 6.5. The question is where do you get the money for that, right? And that comes from the seller. It's got to be paid for by the seller or a builder. The buyer themselves cannot pitch in on this at all. So the seller's got to contribute this for the buyer, or the builder's got to contribute this for the buyer. So let me actually get the calculator out and let me show you what I'm talking about. So in this scenario, this person has a $350,000 loan amount. Now, it's important to acknowledge this is the loan amount, not the purchase price. Okay, the purchase price could be $1 million, but these 2-1 buy downs are based off of the loan amount. Today's rate, roughly 6.5, roughly, could be a little bit better, could be a little bit worse. And what that does is that gives you a monthly mortgage payment of $2,212. Okay, that is your monthly mortgage payment. That is the mortgage payment that needs to be made from day one all the way until you eventually probably refinance. So where that helps, and to break that down a little bit more, what they're doing on the 2-1 buy down is they're saying, hey, let's pretend that this rate is 5.5%, and I'm sorry, I'm wrong, 5.4%, and let's pretend this rate is 5.5%. I gotta fix that on my calculator. Well, in year 1, what that would do is you would save $439 per month. Okay, your mortgage payment for year 1 would be $1,773.40. Now, again, this is not including taxes, insurance, HOA, and anything else. This is just a principal and interest payment. So you would save $439 if you did this. Year 2, we act as if it's a 5.5% interest rate. You would save $225, and your mortgage payment would be $1,987 per month. Now, the total cost of doing this is almost $8,000. Where do we get the money? Well, we ask for seller concessions. We ask for the seller, hey, you want me to buy your home and you're going to make $200,000. I want you to contribute as a seller concession $8,000 or 1%, 2%, 3%, or whatever the number is towards me for closing costs or buying down my rate. So the seller essentially is going to give you this money to be able to buy it down for those 2 years. So again, the rate is always the same. And oh, by the way, this money that you're collecting, that gets put into an escrow account. So that $8,000 goes into an account where every month for the first year, $439 is getting taken out every single month. So it's going to make up the difference on that mortgage payment. One way to look at it is, let's say right now sellers are offering seller contributions of up to 3%. It's a buyer's market. I don't care what anybody says, guys. It's a buyer's market. Treat it as a buyer's market. Ask for everything that you can. Remember another video, put in disrespectful offers. It helps everybody out. So essentially, let's say this seller wants to contribute 3% to the buyer in here. So that means they would be contributing. This is based off of a $350,000 purchase price. Obviously, unless it's a VA loan, the purchase price and the loan amount will never be the same. However, for this simple scenario, let's just keep it simple. So let's just say 3% off of the purchase price of $350,000, which means the seller would contribute $10,500. So that's $10,500 you can use for whatever you want, as far as paying down closing costs, paying down your interest rate, getting a home warranty, etc. So if you were to get $10,500 under this scenario, that means you could take $10,500, you could take out pretty much $8,000 to buy down the rate for a 2-1 buy down, and you would still have $2,500 left over for closing costs. So that would be an additional savings. So this is really helping a lot of people out where they're like, you know what, I know rates are going to go down next year. Again, the 10-year treasury compared to what mortgage-backed securities are at right now, the curve is it's got a 300-point spread right now, and normally it's between 175 and 200 points. So, and then we're going into recession. I mean, if you want to get all technical, everything is showing that the rates are going to start to go down in the very beginning of the year. But if you want the house that you want now, this is a great opportunity. And you know what's even better about this is you see that this is $8,000 under this scenario. Let's say you refinance after the first year. Well, you still have the balance. You still have whatever you didn't use. Whatever you didn't use can go towards paying down your principal on your next loan, right? That's your money that's going to eventually go into that mortgage. So it can either pay for the refinance, or you can just pay down the principal and then refinance right away. So you never lose that money. That's what makes this so lucrative. So essentially, this really helps out with people who are like, you know what, I want to buy my home now because I want to be in there for Christmas or whatnot. And then when the rates go down later, I'll just refinance then. A couple of things I want to bring up. This has got to be on only a primary home. So second homes and investments, you cannot do this for. Again, I already mentioned the seller needs to contribute, or the builder can contribute. The borrower cannot contribute. Like, let's say in this scenario, you wanted to do a 2-1 buy down, but they only gave you $7,000 and there's $900 left over. The buyer cannot contribute that extra $900 to meet the difference. Pretty much all loans can do this: VA, conventional, FHA, USDA. And when you qualify for this mortgage, you're qualifying based off of the actual note rate of 6.5% and mortgage payment of $2,200. All right, so we do not qualify you off of the 4.5 or the 5.5%. It's always off the full note rate. So we know that once it's obviously on the third year, if you have not refinanced, we know you qualify. All right, hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully that wasn't too boring, but please remember, as always, life's not meant to be, it's meant to create. Too strong.